Yeah, I don't think anybody's got 5 years down the line and look at if they've achieved their goals and gone, well, I've achieved my goals because I spent 2 hours a day on Facebook. Not many. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg himself, but the rest of us know.
Yeah, maybe.
So one of the things that I was thinking through there, that requires a lot of dedication and motivation. And for those that are watching the podcast, we can't help but notice there's some memorabilia behind you, which seems to be connected to your good self. So tell us a little bit now about your background. Where did you start, and what is your motivation and story to helping others succeed?
Great question. I'll give you a whirlwind tour because otherwise we could be here all day. So I started boxing, as you can tell. This is all my boxing memorabilia at the back, other than the picture of Muhammad Ali in the corner. I started boxing at age 12. Absolutely loved it. I wasn't the most naturally gifted. There were certainly lads better than me when I started out. Just worked hard, really enjoyed it. That played a big part in it, put in a lot of hours. Got to a real good level, got to a national level. And then at 16, I made a lot of mistakes. I was a bit of a troubled youth. I grew up on a rough council estate and fitted the stereotype of a young lad who boxes living on a council estate. Got in a lot of trouble with the police, got kicked out of high school, and ended up homeless at 16. So I went through a lot of trauma then for the next kind of 5 years. Tried turning my life around by turning professional. Turned professional, only for that to end in a disaster. I ended up breaking my jaw and getting diagnosed with osteoporosis, which is brittle bones, which meant I couldn't fight anymore. Then I was at this kind of age, 21, 22. I've been boxing 10 years, which was almost half my life. And it was my identity. It's what people knew me for. If someone would have said then, do you know James Burke? It was, yeah, he's the boxer. And it was all I'd ever wanted to do. So it was almost like my identity had been taken away from me. I suffered really badly with depression. I was suicidal, diagnosed with psychosis. So I had a really tough time. That time from 16 to 21, 22, really tough time. Hit rock bottom. And at that point, I always advise people this, always advise clients nowadays this, of when you have a breakdown, a breakup with a partner, maybe a break apart like I did with my family, whatever that breakdown is, just on the other side of that is your breakthrough. And that was definitely true for me. I turned my life around, had my first child, my son, Matthew, and went and got a job in a estate agency. So I just started answering the phones, answering the telephones. Within 18 months, I was a branch manager. 18 months after that, my branch won an award for the best estate agency business in the UK, biggest profit growth. And about 18 months after that, seemed to come in 18-month cycles, I was a director for one of the largest agencies in the UK, which was Yolpa, an online agent. So everything had gone really, really quickly. I was on 6 figures at this point. So I'd gone from literally being homeless not that many years before to earning 6 figures. And it had all just escalated really quickly. And my big thing then was, how can I help as many people as possible? And I kind of had this mission. I always had this thing of helping other people, especially from being homeless. So I started doing little bits with homeless charities. And then this kind of mission hit me of trying to make a difference to 1 million people before 2030. That came and it planted a seed similar to the film Inception, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And that is my massive motivator now. And the bigger your reason, the bigger, it will pull you towards it anyway and pull you through pretty much any barrier. So that's my mission and vision now, is to make a difference to 1 million by 2030. And that's the big motivator, really. And that's what people need. You need a big reason. And sometimes it can feel like you're in limbo a little bit. A great coach, whether it be a life coach or a business coach, will be able to help you with that reason and find your reason. And that massively will give you motivation.
Beautiful story. Very inspirational, without a doubt.